I'm Margaret Blaine, life coach, and this is the channel where we analyze different aspects of using universal laws to bring a goal or dream from an invisible thought into a visible reality. And today, our topic is going to be, do you know you have a superpower? Every one of us has a superpower that we're not trained to use in school or by our parents. We have a faculty that can get the answer to any question we might ask, and one that will guide us well through anything and to our dreams. This is our quiet inner voice, our intuition. Now, in my culture, we were thought to think of it as just women's intuition, and we've been taught to dismiss it because we don't really know how it knows. But the intuition can know things we have no way of knowing through the rational mind. It doesn't operate through reason and logic. It's the voice of guidance. How many of you have come into a room and immediately been aware that there was suppressed tension there? Or have you met someone and right away know whether you can trust them or not? Or have you had a quiet little thought on a beautiful sunny day, take your umbrella? Doesn't make sense. You ignore it. And 3 hours later, you're caught in a downpour and wish you had listened. This seems woo-woo to some people, but actually the intuition has been confirmed by science. There's a study reported in the Journal of Organizational Behavior and Human Decision Processes, long name, by researchers from Boston College, George Mason University, and Rice University that concluded that the intuition is more efficient than logical thinking when it comes to making decisions. That quiet little voice will guide you to your dreams when you learn to listen to it and trust it. It's aligned with possibilities and opportunities. It operates outside the senses and does not look to circumstances and conditions to determine what is possible. The power that's within us is greater than anything in our surroundings. It's greater than any circumstance in our life, and it's greater than our history. Now, what would you want to create in your life if you didn't have to think about conditions? Your past or present doesn't need to dictate the future. Once you have an idea, then you can ask your intuition to guide you. You might ask, how do I know what the voice of the intuition sounds like? It will always be calm and quiet, and there'll be a sense of knowing. It's usually so quiet that it's easy to overlook it. It's never anxious or upset, and it can speak to you in some of the following ways. If you have a hunch or a gut feeling about something, trust yourself. It can speak through little coincidences. You think of someone, the phone rings, and it is that person. Sometimes it speaks through a picture in your imagination or a symbolic dream. And it can speak to you through your knowing. For example, I'd been looking at a house as I walked next to the river on the bike path, and it had two big living room windows that took advantage of the view. It was the only house along the bike path that seemed to do that. And I often wished I could live there. One day, there was a for sale sign in the windows. I raced up, and when I stepped over the low front hedge into the front yard, I knew without question that this was our house. I had never looked at the house, and we were in the process of finishing a remodel on the one we were living in. But that knowing was entirely right. We've lived happily in that house for 20 years. And you can communicate with the intuition. Ask it a question and journal the answers. It does take some practice. Sit down and quiet yourself. Focus on what you know. If there's no need, there won't be an answer. Make your question specific. For example, what could be a next step to bring in 5 clients in the next month? And then sit there with a pencil and just write down whatever comes to you without editing, second guessing, or making judgments. After you write your list of ideas, pick the one that seems to have energy and take action on it. If you'd like further information and tips on creating a life you would love living, subscribe to my newsletter on the bottom of my homepage at margaretblaine.coach. Get notifications of posts, tips for creating a life you would love living, coming events, and more. And I'll see you in the second week of next month.